The story that we talk about this evening is a story about emergency. And the emergency battle, remember again, is back as you talk, not just in the Sansad, even outside it. Now, all this began when you had a BJP MP. He calls to release the Shah Commission report about the emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi that raised the hackles of the opposition. Now, speaking during the 0 hour, this BJP MP, Deepak Prakash, says that the government must publish a copy of this report. Now, the Rajya Sabha chairman, Jagdeep Dhankhar, is also asking the government now to consider the possibility of tabling this report. He says it's important, why don't we do it? So this leads to a huge political showdown now. Now, this development, remember, is just coming a few days after you had seen the centre saying that June the 25th every year should be remembered as the Samvidhan Hatya Divas to honour the emergency victims. Now, do remember, the Shah Commission report is actually talking about the atrocities, the excesses that were committed during the emergency that was imposed in 75. It investigated what it called was the darkest period of our democracy. So while the BJP MP Deepak Prakash says that the report would reveal the facts of emergency, the chair has said that this would benefit the public at large. First up, exactly what we've heard on the story so far.
किंतु 1980 में इंदिरा गांधी के नेतृत्व में पुनः कांग्रेस की सरकार केंद्र में आने के बाद अपने काले कारनामे को छुपाने के लिए इस आयोग की रिपोर्ट को नष्ट कर दिया गया, महोदय, नष्ट कर दिया गया। और महोदय, इतना ही नहीं, केवल देश के अंदर नष्ट नहीं किया गया, बल्कि इसकी प्रतियां विदेशों में जहां थी उसको भी ला करके उसको खत्म करने का काम किया गया महोदय। लेकिन शाह आयोग की रिपोर्ट की एक प्रति नेशनल लाइब्रेरी ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मौजूद है महोदय। अतः महोदय, इस हम सरकार से मांग करते हैं कि शाह आयोग की रिपोर्ट की प्रति को सार्वजनिक करे, जिससे कांग्रेस का जो काला चेहरा है वो समाज के सामने आ सके।
The report of the Shah Commission that was formed to investigate the darkest period of Indian democracy, and the report relates to atrocities committed during the emergency imposed in 1975. The government must examine the possibility of having its authentic report and place it on the table of the House for benefit of the honourable members and also for benefit of the public at large.
So you just heard Deepak Prakash saying that the Congress government destroyed the report when Indira Gandhi returned to power in 80, but he says there was one copy in the National Library of Australia. Now, this commission, just for your information, remember, was set up in the year 1977. The mandate was to probe the excesses during the emergency that was imposed from 75 to 77. And we have seen a strong retaliation that has come in from the opposition bloc, who are training all their guns at the centre and also at the Rajya Sabha chairman. Targeting the government, the opposition leaders have raked up the Gujarat riots report. A lot of these accusations, remember, are being hurled at the chair, saying that they are being biased towards the BJP. Why? Because he wants to look at an elevation. He wants to become the president next. So those are the kind of barbs that the chair is facing from the opposition.
DMK was affected by emergency. In fact, after we opposed, including our leader, CM M.K. Stalin, my father, his father, all the senior leaders went to prison for more than a year. Later, Mrs. Indira Gandhi apologized. She apologized publicly that emergency was a mistake. What about the emergency happening for the last 10 years? Let's talk about those emergencies. We have the ED, CBI, income tax, going against only the opposition. The vice president has to be neutral. All along we see the vice president is only swaying towards the BJP. He's being loyal because probably he wants to become the president. He wants their support to become president, so he's asking all these questions.
Vice President of India is doing like a BJP spokesperson. Why he is doing these kind of things which the BJP wants to do it? We are unable to understand. Honorable Vice President of India, please be the Vice President of India. Don't be the BJP leader.
अगर शाह कमीशन रिपोर्ट भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार इसलिए टेबल करना चाहती है कि इमरजेंसी के डार्केस्ट डेज देश के सामने आए, तो हमारा इतिहास तो भरा हुआ है डार्केस्ट डेज से। जब आरएसएस आजादी की लड़ाई में अंग्रेज के साथ खड़ी थी और फ्रीडम फाइटर्स की मुखालफत कर रही थी, उन डार्केस्ट डेज की रिपोर्ट भी टेबल होनी चाहिए। जब गुजरात के अंदर हजारों लोग मारे गए और मोदी साहब वहां मुख्यमंत्री थे, वो भी डार्केस्ट डेज थे, उसकी भी रिपोर्ट टेबल होनी चाहिए। और सबसे ज्यादा 2014 के बाद आज तक जो सरकार बीजेपी की है, ये तो इमरजेंसी से ज्यादा खौफनाक है, जिसने हिंदू मुसलमान के बीच में दीवार खड़ी कर दी।
So who really here is speaking the truth, who's trying to mislead, and should we be looking at this entire report being tabled? Remember, this is clearly an escalation then by the government, by the Sarkar when it comes to emergency, and the opposition says that the chair is also being biased. Good to have Rajat Sethi joining us along with Mr. Mecca, who represents the Congress in the show. Gentlemen, let's first up begin by asking Mr. Mecca if he would welcome this. Mr. Mecca, are you all for this? Should the entire country read about the excesses that people went through during emergency?
Dipti, we have enough reportage on that, and people know where the excesses are. And I, for a minute, I was wondering, are we living in 1977 or 2024? What is this government doing? They go back to 74, 75. They go back to 1950. So are we living in the present? Are we addressing the current issues of the country? Or is the government hell-bent on just mudslinging on Congress? Is that all? Is that what their duty is as an elected government?
You've asked a pointed question, Mr. Mecca. Let's take that first up then to Rajat, and then we'll also talk about the chair. Rajat, we talk of a Viksit Bharat going ahead. Why are we looking back at what happened during emergency?
Well, I don't understand what's the problem in recounting the horrors of emergency, so much so that no future leader has the guts to reimpose emergency on this country again, or even can dream about it. Another thing, why are we doing it this year? This year is going to mark the 25th year. This entire year will be marking 25 years ever since it was proclaimed in 75. That's where the leaders of the ruling dispensation believe that the horrors of emergency, the point when our constitution was shredded into pieces, and the perpetrators of that being the Congress party, needs to be shown the door. I believe that today's generation, especially the youngsters, need to be aware that when was our democracy genuinely in peril? When there were genuine constitutional threats on our constitutional values and ethos, and who brought in, that condition, imposed that condition onto remaining Indians. That needs to be cleared. The point is, the Congress party, loves doing whataboutery when it comes to constitution. They don't have clear responses around emergency. They would love to flash the constitutional booklet that their leader carries as a fashion statement, but they don't know the real values. I mean, if they genuinely respect the constitution, why not have, at the occasion of 25th year, a solemn one? Why not have a freewheeling debate and discussion of all that went wrong, accept it, and give a solemn pledge before the nation that we would never ever do this again?
Okay.
Why shy out?
I think Rajat makes that fair point. Mr. Mecca, I'll allow you to respond, but I just want to bring one little detail that a lot of our viewers have also been pointing towards. Rajat, you would also recall Abhishek Banerjee earlier, when he was in the parliament, he wanted to speak about demonetization. The chair told him, forget this, speak about the budget. Purani baaton pe baat mat kariye. And he also raked up the entire issue that when you can talk of Nehru, you can talk of emergency, why can't we talk of demonetization? So likewise, should we be just looking back? Because anyways, Rajat, people say that looking in the rear view mirror always is not the best thing. You must be also keeping your eyes on what happens ahead. Is this just an idea to deflect attention, as the opposition alleges, Rajat, again and again from the government?
See, there are flavors. Right now, the season, the mood is to flash constitution competitively between various parties. Every party wants to come out and claim that they are the saviors and the true savior in every possible sense of the constitution. When there is this competition going on in the floor of the house as to who is the genuine representation of the constitutional values, then the people of this country better know what all has happened, what all sort of attacks have happened on the very same ethos, and who did it. If BJP has done it, bring that also onto the floor of the House. But here the Congress doesn't want to debate and discuss the Shah Commission report because, it's like a skeleton full of cupboard falling open, and you will see all the Pandora's box will open, and what will happen to the narrative that they've been trying to peddle for the past few months.
Is the point, Rajat. That is, I think, the real point, that this narrative vis-a-vis the constitution, the BJP somewhere has accepted, Mr. Mecca, that this has hurt them in the run-up to the 24 battle. But this is also, sir, a BJP that recuperates very quickly. It goes in for damage control very quickly. And they have touched your Achilles heel, Mr. Mecca. You accept it or not, you hit out at them. But the point is, when it comes to emergency, possibly a lot of people, will again point fingers at the Congress and say, who is the Congress to speak about the constitution?
Okay, so the simple thing is, first of all, anybody asking any fellow Indian citizen, forget about Congress party. Who are you to talk about constitution? That is grossly unconstitutional, and only people who doesn't believe in constitution speak such language. Second, coming to our friend was talking about emergency and its lessons. Hey, this is amply clear, very clear to all the public in India, that Congress party apologized for the excess that happened during the emergency. And people punished Congress party, and then Congress party got re-elected under the same leadership. So that is done and dusted chapter. However, academically, we need to understand what led to emergency, why the rights were trampled, how the rights were trampled, how we can avoid it.
Just let's flip the argument before I get it, Rajat. Let's flip the argument. You've accepted, the Congress has accepted the mistakes, sir. Then you must tell the BJP, bring it on. Table the report. We don't fear it.
See, I'll tell you, Deepthi, BJP tells 100 things. They will say, this is Rahul Gandhi versus Modi. Okay, bring it on. That's what I am saying. You बीजेपी चिढ़ जाता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बोलने से. Their ideological mentors.
वो कहते हैं कि इमरजेंसी का जिक्र करके आप लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं.
It's okay. You can't put us on the defensive because we have the humility to accept if there is a mistake. We accept our mistakes and we will move on. That's what we are. We are not like BJP.
So are you saying today's Congress is different from the Congress in 75 under Indira Gandhi?
Sorry?
The Congress of today, Mr. Mecca, do you believe is different from the Congress under Indira Gandhi in 75, and you now today hold the constitution far above everything else?
Not only today. Congress party is committed to the constitution from J1. And you can look at the Congress constitution. The second article itself, as a congressman or woman, they take a pledge on the Constitution of India. That is in our Constitution itself. We are talking about Constitution now because there is a grave danger to the Constitution. There is a grave threat to the constitutional values in this country.
Okay.
That is what we are talking about.
Rajat, do you accept that, after a long time, this is a government that is getting reactionary. It is reacting to what the Congress is saying. The Congress is setting the agenda and you people are reacting. It wasn't like this, I don't recall this happening in the last long time, Rajat.
It seems actually the reverse. Whenever there is a mention of emergency, it's the same scripted response that comes out of the opposition. They all start jumping as if they're all like popcorns on a hot pan.
Mr. Mecca, we'll go one by one, sir. One by one,
let me complete,
yes,
sir.
Rajat.
There is democracy. The point is, it's a very predictable response. My problem is that why does Congress not have the gumption to come out and own everything, talk it in great detail, let the citizens of this country know that this is where all we faltered, and we do not want Prime Minister Modi or the Modi government or the BJP government to falter on those lines. But instead, they all start jumping on the floor of the House as if like hot popcorns on a hot pan. The problem remains that Congress will never have the will or the desire to open the Pandora's box, because clearly it is like setting cat among the pigeons, and Congress will find it very hard to control the narrative there onwards. Now, BJP, you can accuse that, yes, BJP is always being reactive on the constitutional front, but I think they have burned their fingers around a wrong narrative being peddled around the election time. So they are being doubly cautious, and they have every right, because they were on the receiving end when it came to emergency.
Rajat, the people today are wondering that why is the Congress and, the BJP stuck on emergency, talking about what happened in 75 and perhaps so many years ago. Why don't we have the government of the day talking about issues that matter to the people right now? Talk about jobs in the parliament, talk about employment, talk about mehengai, talk about berozgari, talk about NEET, talk about a lot of those issues.
So, Deepti, now from an academic standpoint, let me also concur that a lot of governments, be it the central government, be it the Congress government in the states, or the BJP in the governments in the state, every government have now gotten into a tendency to actually go beyond what their powers are and try and scuttle the freedoms of a common citizen. People are being arrested at their whims. Journalists, state police are hounding journalists in other states, sending people in plain clothes. Should I give you an example? Should I tell you what Karnataka chief minister, he sent his police out to arrest journalists out in New Delhi? There are many such use cases or misuse of power.
Mr. Meka is flashing the Constitution of India. He does this often on the show.
Drama. They will flash, go do this drama outside the portrait of Indira Gandhi. Flash the Constitution before the portrait of Indira Gandhi. Hang her head in shame and hang your head in shame before you come out and do drama and theatrics on national television. Okay, don't do this. Go and study the Constitution well. Go pass a resolution that all the emergency powers are withdrawn from the Constitution.
Okay, enough. Stop.
Bring in a private member's bill.
Stop.
Have the guts to do that. Don't flash that.
Gentlemen, we were having an interesting debate, and I think Rajat, Mr. Meka was making a good point. Let's allow him to finish his point, and then you can, you can counter him, sir.
He has no business.
We'll give you all the time. We'll give you all the time, but Rajat, look at how the narrative completely has changed. Will you cede and accept the fact it's not just the narrative, it's not just the Congress this time dictating terms, but possibly they are using your playbook at you. They are using the same playbook.
I'm speaking from behalf of a citizen.
Mr. Meka, please, let Rajat complete his point, please.
Is your name Rajat?
We'll go one by one, please.
You are throttling people's voices on national television and flashing the Constitution on the other side.
Rajat, complete your point, please.
This is the absurdity and the stark irony that they will flash Constitution and want to defend the rights of an individual and at the same time scuttle the voice of anybody who wants to show them the mirror. This is the exact problem of Congress party, because they do not intend what they want to say about the Constitution. The problem I was raising across the aisle, across party lines, they have this tendency, today's political leadership has the tendency to actually go beyond what their mandate is in terms of throttling the voices of citizens, going after the voices of citizens, and this is all shades of politicians doing it. And this is where we need to remind the value of freedom, the value of democracy in this country. So each year we commemorate solemnly the day when emergency was imposed on the entire country, and we will continue to do so as long as this republic lives on. It might be problematic for the Congress party. Congress party, go to hell. I don't care. We will every year ensure that we remember what happened on the day of proclamation.
All right, Rajat, I don't understand why tempers must run high on an issue as important as this, Mr. Meka. Rajat is putting out his point, so will you. There is no point, in making this personal and getting this abusive, please.
No, he is saying go to hell and all.
Mr. Meka, the last seconds to you, sir.
No, 1 second. See, the problem is now it is amply demonstrated to your viewers. BJP log chid jate hain constitution dekhne se. Rajat is clearly demonstrating that. Second, वो लोग आप सिंबल लेके चलो, हम संविधान लेके चलते हैं भाई. तो छिड़ जाओ, इतना छिड़ना का जरूरत नहीं है. BJP is clearly gets rattled. That's why I gave that demonstration. See, Rajat jumps up and down. Right? He gets angry. That's the core of BJP from top to bottom. BJP gets rattled.
BJP here, Mr. Mecca, the allegation is कि आप संविधान का मजाक बनाते हैं. You use it just as a prop. You people never have stood with the Constitution is the allegation. I'm sure you also understood that. Do you want to respond to that, sir? I just have the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, they will have the symbol as a prop. They will use the symbol. We use the Samvidhan.
Okay.
That's the difference. And,
right.
People know it.
Good luck to you.
All right, Samvidhan not going anywhere. You are seeing a heated debate, emergency showdown possibly also back, and this is just a trailer of the things to come. Still, I thank Rajat and Mr. Mecca for taking out time and adding perspective to what we do know. We are also heading into a quick break. On the other side, back with more.